Okay, so today we're going to dive into a really fascinating concept. It's a phrase that kind of smashes together two worlds you'd think have absolutely nothing to do with each other: the world of structure and the world of feelings.
The architecture of emotional dependency. I mean, just think about that for a second. On one side, you've got architecture. That's all about plans, structure, solid stuff. And on the other, you have emotional dependency, which, let's be honest, we usually think of as, well, kind of messy, right? And unpredictable. So how on earth do those two fit together?
And that's the big question, isn't it? That's what we're going to unpack. How can a feeling possibly have an architecture? What does that even look like? Come on, let's dig in and figure it out.
All right, so the first thing to get is that this whole phrase is a really powerful metaphor. It's basically saying our feelings aren't just these random things that happen to us.
Nope, they're built. That's the core idea here. Our emotional states, our reliance on other people, it might actually have a structure, a design of its own. And a lot of the time, that design is based on stuff from way back, our earliest experiences, whether we're aware of it or not.
So to really get this, let's do what you do with any complex machine. We're going to deconstruct it. We'll take it apart, piece by piece, and see what each word is actually doing here.
Okay, first step, architecture. What's the big takeaway here? Words like plan, structure, intention. Architecture is never accidental, right? It's a deliberate act of designing something with a purpose. So think of this as the blueprint.
All right, next up is emotional. So if architecture is the blueprint, what are we building with? Well, our emotions. All that stuff, joy, fear, that need to connect with people. They're the raw materials. They are the actual bricks and mortar of this whole structure.
And last but not least, dependency. This one's huge. This is the foundation. It's the ground that the whole thing is built on. It's all about that reliance, that need for support from something or someone else.
Okay, so we've got the pieces laid out, right? We've deconstructed it. Now for the fun part. Let's put it all back together and see what the finished structure actually looks like.
It's all right here. You start at the bottom with the foundation, dependency, that fundamental need for support. Then you build on top of that using the materials, our emotions. And the whole thing is designed and held together by the blueprint, the architecture, that invisible, often unconscious plan that our past experiences helped write.
So when you put it all together, you see that the architecture of emotional dependency is way more than just, feeling needy. It's describing a whole system, a structure that we've actually built and one that we live inside. A system that's designed, for better or worse, to get our emotional needs met by relying on other people.
And that brings us to the big idea here, the main takeaway from looking at this phrase. It's really all about a shift in how we see things.
Here it is. The most powerful idea is that our emotions aren't just random. They aren't just chaotic storms that wash over us. They're built. They have a logic, a foundation, materials, a design. They are structures that in one way or another we've had a hand in building.
And that right there is the question this whole idea leaves you with. If our emotional lives really do have an architecture, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does your blueprint look like? And hey, who was the architect? Definitely something to think about.